Welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Court here on a Tuesday. We got Barnes, we got Domac, and we have Tony.
Yep.
How you guys doing?
What's going on?
Dude, I'm doing great, man.
Dude.
Obviously, Rangers, big storyline, the win last night, got it done. Let's go. President's Trophy, pumped about that. So much to talk about today. Great little early spring day, I guess, too, right?
Yeah, yesterday was
weather.
outstanding.
The golf, how do we do, dude?
Played golf yesterday.
Yeah, I golfed too. Yeah,
I'll let you go first.
I played over
wow.
at Gainesfield, par 3 course,
Gainesfield.
up in Southbury.
Oh, it's in Southbury.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a par 3 course, one par 4.
Okay.
It was just something light that I wanted to do because I had to do a project,
Gotcha.
so I had to do it for that. But
Quick 9.
yeah, I went with my buddy, just wanted to get it in. It was nice to play. It was nice to play without my driver, honestly, because I feel like I get really stressed out when I start using it.
Mm-hmm.
I was using my irons and my wedge, and I felt like I was really going out there just practicing. And I didn't play the best. I think I still shot like 11 over, but I don't know. I felt good. I had a good time. 8th hole, I birdied. That
There
was
you go.
pretty good.
Nice,
That's a
dude.
par 3.
Yeah, it was 8th hole is like 125 to the middle, but it's up probably like 50 feet.
Okay.
So, I'm playing like the back of it because, when you get a higher, like that's going to be a little shorter. I get it right in the middle. I drained like a 20-foot putt. I don't know how I did. I don't know how it went in, but lined it up, went in. Was pretty pumped about that. And
That's pretty
yeah,
solid.
It was all right. It was good. It was good.
And just in general of all the rounds, you've played this spring, where are you? Are you where you expected to be? Are you still not quite where you want to be? Where exactly would you say your game is?
I think because of Florida and because of me getting a couple rounds in when it was pretty cold and we were playing for free when the golf course was closed, I feel like I'm a lot farther along than where I'd be most springs. I feel like right now it'd still be kind of getting back into it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like now I'm pretty at the best of where I've been, so far. I'm at the top of my game now because I've played enough rounds. I've been playing pretty consistently, even though it's been kind of cold. I've been kind of just pushing through. So I feel like for most times in April, I'm a lot farther ahead.
That's great, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
awesome. I unfortunately, I'm not that far off. I guess it's really just one score that stands out for me. So it was, let's see. So this is 1 year from today. Out of nowhere, I shot my career low in 83. In that course I played yesterday, labored to a 94.
Ooh.
And I wasn't doing 83 every time, but I did that a bunch last year. So it just looking at that, it's okay, well, I guess I got some work to do. And recently it's been kind of a tough start, and then kind of as we go on,
Yes,
battling
that's
through
has
it.
been for me too.
And I feel like the whole thing for me, putting has been mostly good. Chipping started out like a complete disaster. We've gotten a little better there. Definitely doing Texas wedge as much as I can. I almost think there's some circumstances okay, maybe you shouldn't really be putting in rough, but basically every time for me, I know I'm better off with the Texas wedge because my chipping, it's even if I feel like I get a solid chip, it's always just a little too far, and then it's back of the green, rolling off the green.
Dude, honestly, I feel like watching the Masters this past weekend, I saw a lot of guys putting from the rough.
Mm-hmm.
And I more so than I've ever seen before, I thought, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then just the driver. Not that I've had worse parts, so I'm just kind of in, I guess you could say, mediocre land for me right now. But opportunities on the horizon, Tony. Gonna probably play tomorrow and Pound Ridge on Friday. I'm excited about. You haven't played that one, have you?
No, I have not.
Highly recommend it. Been out there twice. A Pete Dye design. Only one in Westchester County.
Wow.
Gotcha.
And it's in Power Ridge, which is the town over from Stanford, so very convenient. And it feels like one of those courses, if the infrastructure was there, that they could easily have a Corn Ferry Tour event, or even a lower scale PGA Tour
Oh, okay.
event, Pete Dye, I believe, no longer with us, Tony?
He is no longer with us. 2020.
No, there was somebody else that we looked up and we were shocked that they were still living.
Yeah,
and I feel like it was. I don't know if it was a course designer or something. You know what I'm talking about though? I think he was like 94 or something. You kind of remember something along those lines?
No, honestly, no. Not
Unless
even
it
a little bit,
wasn't
dude.
a golf designer, maybe
I
it was
don't
something
think.
else.
I thought it was like an actor or something. To be honest,
Could be. Honestly, could have been.
But still, 94 years old. Pete Dye.
Yeah.
When he passed away, it's a nice life right there. Golf designer.
So yeah, I'm excited about that, and I would say so far for me, what's really helped me out, and probably it could be a lot worse, is my putting. I've been pretty good with like those medium range, but like making like a decent amount of like 9-10 footers, and you know how that is, especially like trying to save bogey, and it's like, oh, you miss it, then it's a double, but it just changes your whole complexion. So I've hit a lot of those, but like I said, just want to get a little better, but at least I feel good. It's just mid-April, so
you got a lot of time.
There's time, and I think it's around the corner. That's for sure. What would you say so far for you? What's been the strength this season?
Probably my chipping. I worked on my chipping a lot last year, and I feel like my chipping has been pretty solid. That's probably my favorite part of my game so far because my drive's been a little consistent. My irons have been getting better. I shortened my backswing to try and get a little more control, so my club face stays a little more even.
Now this is on the chip.
Now this is on just everything, any shot.
Gotcha.
I was trying to not swing as far back, and that's been helping me. But on my chips, I learned I just do it the way like I've seen videos of like Phil Mickelson do it, where I lean on my front foot, lean my club head forward so that like the bottom is like. So I do it the way I chip it, just make sure that I don't hit I don't blade it and it goes like across. So like if I lean on my front foot and you lean your shaft forward and kind of like end up with more of like a flatter club face, it's a lot easier for me to chip without messing it up when I'm around the green. But when I go a little farther back, I set up more normal and do more of a pitch shot. But it's when I'm closer around the green, probably like 10, 15 feet off the green or anything inside that, lean real heavily on my right foot and make sure I don't like top it and it rolls off.
Gotcha. And for like a chips from 30 yards in, what club are you using?
30 yards in. I mean, right now I have a pitching wedge, sand wedge, and gap wedge. Anything from 100 in, I use my sand wedge.
Okay, and that's like a 56?
56, yeah.
That's what I use. Yeah.
I want to get a 60-degree wedge because I feel like when I get a little closer, like I want to get a little more air. But I'm also not like I don't think I'm good enough to deserve a 60-degree yet. Like I want to be able to consistently shoot 95 before I can, just start buying clubs thinking that I'm like, this phenomenal golfer.
Yeah.
So.
It's funny because I have a 52, a 56, a 60, and a gap wedge, and I feel like 99% of the time I'm just using gap wedge and 56. But I do have the other options. 52, I actually used it by accident yesterday. Okay. Actually, wasn't bad. I don't know. Have you ever hit a 52?
No, my gap wedge is a 51. My sandwich is a 56, and those are the only two I have, and then my pitching wedge. But those are the only two. I think in my old bag too, I only had a sand wedge and I have a gap wedge. So it was a 56 and then a pitching wedge. So now this gap wedge has actually been really helpful because I didn't have that, in between.
Yeah. And Tony, what about for you? Do you have, is it just a pitching wedge or do you have like a sand wedge or a lob wedge or?
I'm trying to think now. I do have, I guess I have I have a sand wedge.
Okay.
And then
a pitching wedge.
And a pitching wedge. Okay. And that's it.
No gap wedge or anything.
No.
And then what are you using the pitching wedge from 30 yards in, or are you using this? You never use a sand wedge unless you're in the sand.
Correct.
Okay. And are you comfortable with that club or not entirely?
Like out of the sand wedge? Honestly, yeah. I feel like sometimes
hit it normal.
Yeah, hit it normal. And I'm like, wow, this is like pretty good out of the sand here.
Yeah.
So
it'd be interesting if you started trying to use that around the greens, but are you comfortable 30 yards in? Like, do you feel pretty confident when you're having those shots?
No, I would say that's what I'm least confident. To be honest.
So I feel like you should try that because it's easy to blade the pitching wedge from short. Like you don't have to touch the backspin.
I noticed when I was playing with you, once he got for some reason with inside 50 yards, it just got a little like shaky.
Yeah.
I don't know, the up and down is just maybe
the up and down.
It's just
it's about the finesse. I don't have that finesse yet on the ball,
And it's funny. My favorite shot I feel like is a gap wedge from like 130. I just feel like I'm just right on the money with it.
I like, right when I'm like 145 to like 100 in, those are the shots I really like.
But 70, 60, not really that good.
Tough to gauge.
Yeah, it's just so easy to overdo it, you know?
And I'm kind of making you go in the memory bank here, Tony, because I know you haven't played Gainer since last year. But do you kind of remember number 17? Because number 18 is the par 4 with the water.
Right, I do remember that.
But the 17th is just a par 3, just straight ahead par 3.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of remember?
Yeah, I think so.
Then to the left is the tee box for 18.
Right, yeah.
So I hit it basically to the tee box area through the trees. So I had no angle, lined a 7-iron up the hill, went to the top of the hill. So you know how that hill is up because then that's the other holes, like there's all that grass. So I putted it all the way down the hill within a couple feet, or not a couple of feet, but like within decent range, and ended up saving bogey. But I was like hitting a line 7 with no angle. It was like insane.
Wow, that's awesome.
So at least, it was a good finish. But definitely in the early going too, just not enough pars. I feel like that's a big thing too. A lot of bogeys. And but I know it's everybody, but it's just, always those like 4 or 5 shots that, kind of change everything. But at least it was somewhat of a positive. I didn't have like as many blow up holes as I've been having. I only had like 1-7 the whole round. So it was like everything else was.
That's what gets me. I'll play pretty all right. Like somewhere around like bogey-ish golf, and then like there's this one hole where I just blow up, and it ruins the round.
So tough, dude.
Yeah,
score-wise, it just ruins the round.
Like an 11 on a par 5.
Yeah.
Sometimes with the par 5s, like just the wrong footing, and then all the time punch outs. Whenever I'm trying to like go through a little window, always off the tree.
Never
like
works.
never.
Oh my gosh.
How do you feel like you're with that, Tony?
I mean, I feel like it's the same deal where I think I can hit this gap between the trees, and then I just don't because I'm just not good like that, you know?
The only thing I would say I am good at, it's kind of a punch out, but not really, is like, so there's not necessarily trees in the way, but there's the branches hang over, and I'm kind of near the green, so I can't hit a lob wedge because then it's just going to go right up and hit the branches. But I could kind of just like hit a 7 soft and like run it up to the green. Like,
okay,
I'm
like
comfortable with that. But dude, we gotta plan our like golf outing.
I know we really do. We said that we have to, and we haven't.
We haven't.
We should. I'm golfing this Sunday.
Wow, nice.
Pumped about that. Yeah,
dude. That's the
rugby alumni thing.
Nice. What time is tee?
I gotta check. I don't know.
And it's an 18 scramble.
That's correct.
Keg on the course. Because I feel like didn't they have a keg when you did the Live Free? Is it? Tournament?
Yes, they did. They had like a bar girl going around. They had a keg on the turn, and like one hole had like a Tito's vodka stand where you could have Tito's lemonade or something like that. That was kind of cool. Yeah. It was that freaking, I forget what hole it is, but it's where I think it's a par 3, and you're like,
on the red course.
You got to hit it over the marsh.
Par 3.
There's like a marsh.
But very short.
Very short. Very short.
Next hole is the long.
When you go up
road.
exactly.
And I forgot you told me, but who are you playing with this?
Right now I only know like 4 people who signed up. Such is one of them. Reese was another. A couple other rugby guys from my year. But I guess we'll see. I think they started like some group me with everyone. So I guess we'll see. Hopefully there's some decent bodies.
Oh, so this could be a relatively small tournament.
Yeah. And I don't even know, like, again, it seems a little bit like off the cuff. And like, again, I don't know if they needed a minimum amount of people to be like, yeah, we can do this.
Seems a little unorganized.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Well, if there's any, snafus and you need a tea time, let me know because I'm sure I could squeeze you in over the weekend.
I'll have to check my schedule, but
or if you need an extra player for the tournament as well, let me know.
Yeah.
So a couple other things here, golf related, before we move on and get to comments. First, I have to ask you because we haven't seen you since last week. What was your thought on the Masters, Scotty, all of that?
I thought it was sick, but I also like, as I'm getting older, when I'm starting to watch sports now, I really like realize just like why like these players are so much better than they are. Like normally I would just think like, oh, they're just gifted.
Right.
And I'm not really like kind of like picking and choosing. And like Scotty is just like, all these players compared to me, they get so much spin on the ball. Like I don't even know how they do it.
The backspin,
like,
dude, like unbelievable.
Like
it
is.
Like they know, they know they're gonna hit it 20 feet past the hole because the ball is gonna roll all the way back.
And dude, every time I think, wow, this guy overshot it, and then it literally takes one hop, and then like that, and I'm like, this is
and
ridiculous.
it completely changes the game though, because like my look at it now is like I'm planning for the ball to hit the front of the green and roll 10 feet.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
my shot and the way I'm going to swing compared to them is two completely different swings now. And the thing I noticed about Scotty is just like he's just so dialed in. Like he is just so consistent. Like because everyone else behind him just started slowly like trickling away. Just because like it's hard after 4 days at the Masters. Like it's not easy.
Right.
And like his consistency was just insane. Like I was watching it at the end, like just shot after shot, like no mistakes, like zero mistakes.
Yeah.
And even the times where he did make a mistake too, because there was
double bogey,
right?
On
on Saturday, and then even to start off Sunday, it was like par bogey, and it was just like. And at one point too, he lost the lead. I think he went down to 5 under when people were battling for 7 under. That chip in was sick, and he just stayed composed, bud. Like, oh my goodness,
I think he
so impressive.
Out of his last 9 holes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude, honestly, I didn't even realize this. I saw a photo yesterday on Instagram, but 2 years ago when he won, he obviously got the jacket. Last year he gave Rahm the jacket, and then this year Rahm gave him the jacket back, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, and then me and Tony were getting a chuckle, Domac, of how tight Rahm was in Butler Cabin because he had a terrible tournament.
Yeah, I know.
Like, did not want to be there because I remember DJ. It was the same way. Like the chairman of Augusta always tries to be like, oh, you had such a great tournament last year, but they're usually the next year is not that good, so they're just always, they don't even respond to what they're saying.
I don't even think he didn't say anything.
No, he
just
didn't.
sat there.
He didn't say anything.
Dude, that segment was so awkward.
Yeah, dude, I don't know if it was
dude.
just me, but like that whole thing was weird. The amateur, the way they were just talking to each other, like I don't know,
low amateur,
right? Which is I mean, again, cool that he was walking with Tiger, I guess, on Sunday and stuff, but.
What does that even mean? Like he won something, but he's called the low amateur?
No. So that every Masters tournament, there's 5 amateurs that make it based on qualifying. So he was the only one to make the cut. So they always honor the highest finishing amateur, but they say low amateur because it's the lowest score.
Yeah,
right. Which is pretty interesting. And again, that's it was just
Will
weird.
Shipley, is that his name?
I think so. Yeah. Will Shipley, dude. And his boy, the caddy, was like his boy from high school or something like that. Yeah. Like, which is great. I mean, it's a cool story for him. But again, he just seemed so like uneasy on camera. I don't know who knows what happened. Like maybe John Robb said something like bad to Scotty.
Yeah, they kept looking around. Yeah, it was weird.
They literally kept looking this way.
Yeah, he kept looking. I could tell, I don't know, maybe it was just me, but it seemed like he just never been in that position before.
Yeah.
So it looked like he just kept looking at whatever monitor or cameras were over there. And it looked
script
terrible.
Producer, dude, who knows?
Terrible job.
Dude. Yeah, bad job.
And we, talked about this a lot on Sunday at the Horseshoe, but just kind of curious what your thoughts are, Domac, with Scotty. I mean, it seems like he's, head and shoulders above everybody else on the PGA Tour. Do you think he's going to pick up another major victory this season?
I mean, with the way he's playing right now, like I don't see why he doesn't. I mean, right now, like what he's doing is like one of those things where it's like in any sport where like like the player's the best at their game, and it's like when it comes when it's time to just win, he just like rises above, and it's like not even close. Like throughout the entire weekend, it wasn't like he was head and shoulders above everyone. But halfway through the last 18, he just like he's like, all right, I gotta lock in, and just blows them out.
Yeah,
like, not even close.
Yeah, and if you think about it overall, it's 3 out of his last 4 starts he's won.
Yeah,
and then you think over not even a 2.5 year period, 2 Masters and 2 Players Championships. I don't know the history behind that, but I don't think many people have done that.
I think
kind of crazy.
I think him and Tiger are the only 2 people that have won the Players and the Masters in one year.
Okay, right. I think
in one calendar year or something like that. Yeah.
So my kind of thought is maybe it doesn't work out at Valhalla, but then at Pinehurst at the U.S. Open, I think a U.S. Open, it just seems like Scotty Scheffler, the way he plays, doesn't get into trouble too much.
Open,
it just seems like he's meant to win there. I don't know. It just seems like that matches up with him.
Also, he gets a round under his belt after winning, maybe a little bit of a hangover kind of thing,
Yeah, and it's interesting too. I haven't heard anything about where his wife is with the pregnancy. He's in the field at Harbour Town this week, but I would think with that uncertainty, I'm almost surprised he hasn't just withdrawn, because why does he want to start and then he has to leave? And
I don't know why he would do it either. But would you have? Because I know this was a big debate over the weekend. Would you have left if that was you in the Masters?
Brian said no.
I did say no.
You wouldn't have left.
We said if you're going into Sunday with a 6-shot lead, would
Yeah,
you lead?
and you're just right in the lead. I don't know, because I just feel like, especially too, I mean, it was a little different for Scotty because he's already won the Masters. But I don't know, when you're right there I know it's like such a big moment, but I don't know.
I mean,
also,
it's tough,
I feel like
dude.
I would have not made sure that wouldn't come up during the major championship season. I mean, you could time these things. Like,
I mean, yeah.
You know, have it come up in the fall. I mean, you're not even playing.
You could have waited, yeah. Definitely could have waited.
Yeah, but are you really thinking about that in the moment, you think? Like, honestly.
I don't know. People,
honey, 9 months from now is the Masters. I can't.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
That's his career, Tony. I mean, is it not? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so, dude.
And then the other thing I was just gonna ask you, Tiger, pretty tough over the weekend. I mean, do you think that's just unfortunately what we're gonna see the rest of the way here? I
think it's over.
Yeah,
I think it's over. It was a tough pill to swallow, but
I mean, because I feel like he played well relatively on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, he started off, I thought, pretty well, but then he does this every time. I feel like he's like -1 or like right around even, and then the next round he shoots like +1, so he's sitting at even after like 2 rounds. Then all of a sudden you go check again, like at the end of the day Saturday, he's like +9.
And no, were you saying?
No, I was saying I just don't think he has. I don't think his body. Yeah, his body can't hold up for all that, dude.
I honestly think like he's gonna be like 5 over on the front 9 at Valhalla first round. Honestly,
really?
Probably. Yeah.
Do you think he's gonna play it?
Oh yeah, he said he's playing.
What's the weather gonna be like? Do you know? Because I feel like again, like this weekend with the delayed start in the beginning, the extra holes on Saturday,
23 holes, dude, probably did it.
Battling the wind too. Like imagine the wind blowing you back as you're walking. If you're him too, like that's probably it's so much worse.
Kentucky mid-May. I mean, it'd probably be pretty warm.
I would think it'd be perfect weather.
Too warm, even potentially. I mean, you never know.
He does sweat a lot.
And so we'll have to see. But yeah, it just unfortunately seems like the end is near there. But we'll see what he has in store next month. And I guess was it carefully vetted? I had mentioned how there was rumblings about Rory to live $850 million. But where's the source, Tony, that you said was it his agent that denied it, or what was the deal there?
Yeah, this is a Twitter page, courtesy of Nuclear Golf, is the first thing I saw. And it looks like there were some other rumblings of guys just being like, hey, I need more information on this sort of deal. I can go double check Twitter again.
Wait, and was that article new too? It said something about like making his stance clear despite rumors or something.
Where'd you see that? Right here?
To the right.
To the right. Rory makes his PGA Tour stance. This is 15 hours ago. Despite 682 million pounds of live golf rumor contract here, Oderman went to the tour despite having stepped back. Yada yada yada, dude. He made no secret the tour from himself. Despite having speculation, former agent has led to some loose speculation that Rory himself could be gearing up to make the ultimate U-turn. Wow. Speculation from his former agent, dude. Andrew Chandler. That's kind of messed up.
That kind of just seems like maybe a salty agent.
Yeah, right. What do you know what the deal is with his agent? Did he fire him or?
I have no idea.
Interesting, dude.
That seems a little fishy.
That does seem kind of fishy.
Your old agent, he probably got rid of the agent. Now all of a sudden the agent saying he's going to live. I don't know. Seems like someone was trying to get back into the picture.
Here's Greg Norman. Wow, the CEO of Live Golf, who was at the Masters. That's interesting.
As a patron.
As a patron, yes, dude.
And speaking of Rory, too, this stuff aside, and I don't know. Well, first, what do you guys think? I mean, do you think there's any juice here? I mean, usually where there's smoke, there's fire.
I don't know, dude. I mean, there's no way, though. There's no. I really don't care. Has come. There's no truth. This is from the Mirror.uk.
Mirror, though?
I don't know. It seems to be a British.
Who's Joshua Lee?
Media
what's
outlet.
His credential.
Joshua Lee. What do you see, Joshua Lee?
Scroll down. Right there.
Oh, he's a senior golf writer.
Yeah, if you click on his name, it'll show you like his credentials.
Joshua Lee.
Oh, just show you his article. I know on some websites, if you click on it, it shows you like
like where they what
they're doing, their credentials. But it would be very hypocritical. I don't know, like if he does that like
brutal,
no spine, like just completely like lost all respect.
It says here, according to this outlet, City AM, Rory is close to going to live, I guess. But then
But you guys
that's
are
where
basically
Flyers is
saying
fake
no.
news. I don't think he will, dude. You can't do that, especially a man in Rory's position. I mean,
but is there anything that somebody can't do or can't be done at this point in our lives?
True, but it's also weird too after having like you're telling me you're giving up on the Grand Slam like that. Like, I mean, I know you haven't done it, but like, I mean,
it's social suicide, Brian.
come
you
on.
can't come back from that.
Yeah,
dude.
literally.
Again, I mean, we've seen some individuals come back from certain things, right?
No, true. And again, like what is the deal with the merger? Like, why is Liv still trying to poach golfers when they're merging?
Because they are very strong with their negotiation tactics.
Yeah.
And then also, I think the PGA Tour, because of the influx of cash that just came in, is also doing the same. And that's why we have a standoff.
So you think Liv Tour is just trying to get more leverage on the merger situation?
Probably.
But I thought like wheels were in motion and things were kind of set
in
for the
motion,
merge.
but they want top value, I guess.
Oh my god!
I thought
dude.
the wheels were in motion, and then John Rahm switched, and
Yeah,
then I feel like since then I haven't really heard
the upper
much.
hand, and who knows, what.
Freaking
You think
ridiculous.
Scotty ever goes to Liv or no? I hope not. But.
No. We talked about that too. Prideful, the tradition, loves it, dude.
I mean, I also didn't think I never thought John Rahm was gonna leave. Like,
I never thought Dustin Johnson.
He's at the
or
top.
Koepka,
he's at the top of his game.
Bryson
like,
DeChambeau.
I don't know.
It just seemed like Phil was dying to go, and then a bunch of washed up golfers would come with him, like Ian Poulter.
Yeah, but I feel like Scotty. I mean, I don't know. He seems like a stand-up guy. I feel like he would morally and ethically want to stay with the PGA.
Is John Rahm not a stand-up?
No,
I heard he was a bad guy.
He was always
really?
Yeah,
F-bombs and just very awkward with interviews.
Yeah.
So that
did you hear there was like a hot mic on him one time when he hit a driver into the woods, and he was like screaming this weekend. And he was like screaming. I picked it up on the broadcast.
Really?
Oh, that's
freaking hilarious, dude.
And which I didn't know. I also learned a lot about like the whole way the Masters works with the broadcast and stuff. Like they pay, like the way they do it is like the Masters, like whoever runs it has total control of the broadcast, and they just use ESPN and CBS to like put it on. But when it comes to like what they show, what they play, whatever they show is all ran by the Masters. Like ESPN has no control over it.
It makes sense because Masters.com like has everything,
which is crazy because I didn't know that's like I guess it's one of the only golf courses that does that because normally I would assume the broadcast team that comes in would also direct it. You know,
right? But it's just for the Masters.
Yeah, they submit.
It kind of makes me think like, are they hiding something? I don't know.
What are they hiding?
I don't think there's not dead bodies.
But what do you want control for then? Like, why do you?
Because they don't want anyone to fuck it up.
What
dude. Imagine ESPN comes in, they're just like,
I think it's just because they feel it's a very pristine tournament, and they just want everything.
Fair. I'm not saying there's dead bodies, but I don't know. Maybe
but think about how much like tradition and how strict the rules are around Augusta and the Masters. I mean, they want to keep that. The phones, the patrons. My mother didn't get that. Why do they have to be called patrons? Why patrons of all things? But hey, like that's what they want. So you have it. And it's like, imagine like ESPN, we've seen ESPN like glorify and fuck up other broadcasts. I mean, look at them when they first got hockey too. I mean, the broadcasts were kind of bad for hockey.
Now they're fine.
And like ESPN doesn't really do golf, do they?
It's just this and the PGA.
Right? So it's just like NBC does golf, and CBS obviously too. But like obviously, I don't know, man. Like I feel like you don't want, and then I feel like the last thing the Masters wants too is like, I don't know, some type of like battle over different stations, a battle over like different stations, the contracts. So all of a sudden now we have the Masters Sunday on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
We don't want that, dude.
Yeah. No, I get that. And I was just going to ask Domax to kind of wrap up the golf talk here. We were just
Michael Buck is getting impatient.
I was honestly, before you said that, dead serious, was all set on going to breaking news and saying, this isn't the sports board. This is the Michael Bucket show. But I was just going to ask, Rory, obviously disappointment again here. No career Grand Slam, no major since 2014. What do you think there? I mean, you think I picked him at the beginning of the year to win the Open, but he's looked like shit to me. The last few tournaments, he's had like one good tournament. I mean, what do you think with
it? Makes me think like, is there like some sort of injury he's trying to like fight through? Like I just
10-year injury though. I mean,
well, not 10-year injury. I'm just saying maybe recently, this year, but
I think he won on the DP World Tour.
He won. He won something over there, and then like that was supposed to be like good for him when he started coming back. But I don't know. I think he might be done.
Like no more majors ever.
I mean,
Maybe not.
He hasn't done it now. Like why? Like at this point, at this point, he's getting to like it's just age. Like, he's getting older and older. Like 10 years, he didn't do it then. Now he's 10 years older than the last time he did it. Like I don't know.
And I feel like the next rising European golfer is Ludwig Gobert.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finished second, right? I mean, he's young.
He played great. I was disappointed with how a lot of the previous players played, like Rom,
DJ,
DJ, Spieth,
JT,
yeah,
Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks. I put money on Brooks.
Yeah.
Put money on Brooks.
Did you really?
It didn't work.
I was shocked with Brooks. That
Yeah,
he
I really
did not
was.
Yeah, me
muster
too.
a better performance. But hey, that's one major down, and like we've said, looking forward to Valhalla. But as per Michael Butka's request, Tony,
Of course, dude.
let's get to the comments.
Yes, Michael Buchter was first, of course. He says, "Morning, boys," with a bunch of Z's. What's up? Hopefully you remember me, he said. Was really bummed we couldn't see each other over spring break. Yeah, Michael, sorry. It was obviously a busy week, busy weekend.
Yeah.
I was in Jersey for the wedding.
Oil
And
change.
stuff like that. The
The
oil
drinking.
change, dude. Yes, Brian. There was drinking involved.
Friday night with Michael.
And Friday night with Michael, dude. And Michael, speaking of the other Michael Buchter, says, and I want the Lakers to tank tonight, he says.
To not
What's the deal with
play
that?
No. Who's the two? Or the Nuggets are the two.
Yes, because
Okay.
if they win, they're going to play
the
the Nuggets and
Nuggets.
lose in the first round in 5.
And he also said that I want to hear, making a lot of demands. I want to hear a lot of NBA talk today, he
I
says.
don't
on
know
the show?
about that. I don't know about that. Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
no,
like-
he's a producer.
Come on, dude. Yeah.
Maybe we'll give Domac a bone, though. Maybe.
No, yeah, I think we might as well,
Yeah.
while we're here.
Yeah.
And then speaking of giving him a bone, Kev Du Taylor with a big let's go. He says, we want the smoke. What a night. Rangers get it. And I'm assuming this is get it and the President's Trophy. The Mets have another come from behind again victory. Tatum is the GOAT, he says. Also,
Yep.
me and Kev Du heads up in fantasy this week. Your boy's in first place, Domac.
Oh, yeah?
Me, I'm in first place
Yeah.
right now after 2 weeks.
Okay. Cool, I guess.
Josh B says, what up, fam? Rangers, he says. That is all. Both Kev Du and Josh B with the hashtag TCA, hashtag Sportsport, hashtag DTV, and of course, Kev Du cycles in that hashtag Yankee boy as well. Oh, geez. Michael Buchter says, smoking the fuck out of Tatum in pool currently as we speak, he says.
What?
I guess he's playing like pool, like billiards.
But,
I guess Michael's a big pool guy. Huh?
But
I
is
don't know.
Tatum a big pool guy? Or
Honestly, I can't picture
think
him
so.
playing pool, to be honest. I can see maybe a little ping pong.
Pong.
A little pong, dude.
Wow.
My mother, not before my mother, Danny B
Bernie!
says, what up, fellas? Have a great show. Shout out to TCA and DTV. Kev Du kick rocks. My mother says, good morning. Kev Du says, Bernie, I found a bag of rocks you can kick.
The banter.
Bernie loves it. My mother wants to know, is Brian sitting in a new area of the studio?
Same studio, same area, Mary, that we've always had. Just
That's
different angle,
right.
different perspective.
Different perspectives. That's what it's
Same
all about.
place. You bet your bottom dollar.
Speaking of different perspective, Michael, of course, at the end there said, can we please get to some comments, boys? LOL. And we did, Michael.
We did. And can we go to the world of Major League Baseball?
It's deep to left. It's 700. Albert Pujols.
Yeah, what a play! Stop it! Yep.
And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight. And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So I want to start with some surprising news that came out early yesterday afternoon. Longtime radio play-by-play announcer John Sterling announcing his retirement effective immediately. I believe, for speaking for my fellow Yankee fans, and I think Domac included here, definitely sent some shockwaves through. I mean, obviously, 85 years old. Of course, you're not thinking he's going to be there for the next 10 years. But being that the season just started, and that obviously the Yankees have as good a chance as anybody this year, I found this highly surprising and somewhat concerning. He was on with Evan and Tiki yesterday, called into the Fan, and said that he's just he just wants to be able to relax, not have to leave his house, doesn't want to work given his age. And that supposedly the opening road trip to Arizona and Houston took a lot out of him, and that's why he's retiring. But I've heard him do other interviews before, and he always said, until he would announce until he's physically able to, and that when the Yankees would have him. And this is definitely not the Yankees forcing him out. So I just hope that he's okay. I mean, that's what he's portraying. But I do find it a little odd.
I mean, yeah, I would too, especially again, like you said, I mean, effective immediately, it is kind of like cause for concern. Just because again, I mean, I feel like a man, of his caliber, of broadcasting, the amount of years he's given to the Yankees and their fan base and everything.
1989.
You would imagine that he would want to have announced at the beginning of the season, this is my last year, go through the whole season, the whole shebang, whatever.
Maybe have a chance to, go on a run.
Yeah, to see a World Series again,
Yeah.
in New York. And for the way he's described, the words you said, the way he doesn't want to have to leave his house, the road trip took a lot out of him. I mean, I don't want to speculate, but I mean, yeah, you want to be concerned a little bit. I mean, it is very, I feel like out of left field, no pun intended.
Yeah. What do you think, Domac?
I don't know, because I mean, even Michael Kay was, I guess, said on the broadcast on the last Yankee game, he said it's not a health thing. He went out of his way to say that. So I think I don't know, maybe it is something him and his wife, or I don't know. Maybe he just thought a couple weeks ago, since he wasn't really traveling before the season started, obviously, maybe he thought he can give one more run, and he just genuinely tried, and he just doesn't. I mean, he's 85.
Yeah.
I mean,
obviously,
he's been around the planet a couple times,
Definitely has. Oh, so he's not
married.
Oh, he
divorced in 08.
And somehow that always comes up. But yeah, so that means, but that he's got kids, but I just feel like, that also, I mean, he's going to an empty house. I don't know. He's saying, "Oh, I'm going to watch all the Yankee games, all the other baseball games around the league. The Mets." He even mentioned the Mets, which was kind of interesting.
Wow.
Did he actually?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Stop. But all I know is I hope he's okay. And if this is what it really is, I get it. Cause I mean, obviously at that age, in terms of making this decision after we're, not even a month into the season, a couple weeks, that, just given the age, I could see why maybe that would happen, that you're not thinking things through and you just have different feelings. And I know, as just knowing, older people in general, I know that just the grouchiness, the not wanting to do anything that requires extra effort.
Sounds like Domac.
But you know what I mean? So that part makes sense. So I guess there is some realm where that is just the case.
Right.
Hopefully that's what it is. And I think for the most part, when it comes to just Yankee fans, specifically, I think positive thoughts with him. But I know there are some people out there that didn't like him. The whole "it is high, it is far," caught at the wall, or not knowing the outs, fair or foul, stuff like that.
Right.
People would get frustrated there. But I've always said I'm always going to really appreciate anybody who's broadcasting or, doing a radio show, podcast that has energy, because nobody wants to listen to a deadbeat. And I just loved that he was so excited, almost called every game like it was a playoff game. And I feel like that's why I really enjoyed listening to him.
I don't know why he didn't, because I know the Celtics broadcast announcer did this, where his last year he didn't go to the away games, he just did the home games. So I don't know why, because the season started, why couldn't he just do the home games?
And I think there was some thought,
because the organization definitely would have let him.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's no way they would have told him no.
So it just kind of leaves me with a tough feeling, to be honest. I would have liked to see him see it through. Would have liked to hear him, call a World Series game.
Yeah.
I didn't get to experience that as an adult. Really. It was last time they were in World Series, I was in high school. But hey, obviously we wish him well. And I was mentioning this to you guys, before we started here, that they're going to honor him in some pregame ceremony. I don't know if it's going to be on the field or just in the WFAN booth, but that's the game that me and Matt will be at. So definitely excited about that. As far as on the diamond last night, a little bit of a tight subject here for the Yankees, 3-1. And I think, obviously at the end of the day, didn't get the big hits. That's why they lost this game. But I mean, I think there is something to a momentum, a start to a game. And when anytime, your starting pitcher, is laboring through 5 innings and walking 7 batters, including
Yikes,
walking
dude.
in a run, another run on a wild pitch, that's going to set you back. It's going to put pressure on offense, and it really just changes the complete complexity of the game. And I think that's what we unfortunately saw with Luis Gil last night. So the final line, 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, 7 walks, and 6 strikeouts, throwing 99 pitches over 5 innings.
Kind of crazy.
Was his longest outing of the season, and it's like, boy, it's frustrating watching him because I see number 1 starter, all-star written all over him, but it's unfortunately, Domac, a big if, like he can get the control down. I mean, what do you think about him?
I mean, I feel like if we just give him one more time, I think you can dial it in. I mean, not every pitcher I feel like is going to be on the top of their A game outing. I mean, they're going to have a couple bad outings throughout the season. It's just like if next time he comes out, if he's able to correct it, I'll be more content. If he's able to really dial it back in, if he does a couple in a row, then.
Well, it's just crazy that there was a 7-pitch at bat and every pitch was a 4-seam fastball.
Oh, yeah. He's
hammering the fastball, dude. Crazy.
No, I mean, his numbers were decent before, but because of his lack of control, taking a lot of pitches, this was the first outing he even went 5. I just hope he can harvest that. And, because, yes, I'm sure he could go to the bullpen and be like our top setup guy. But we've had such a problem developing starters. If we could just figure this out with him.
How young is he?
He's 25, I think.
Yeah, so I think we still have a little bit of time. I mean, for this year, it'd be great if we really dialed it in and we could figure it out this year.
He is 25. We'll turn 26 in June. And he's going to get the opportunity. But I do think, like I said, I think sometimes things are, bounce off one another. And I just feel like because he started that way, it put pressure on the offense, and then that kind of changes what happens here. So the only run was scored on a Oswaldo Cabrera single.
On fire, by the way.
Yeah, he is on fire, scoring Gleyber Torres. So that was good, but overall just offense. I mean, both teams only had 4 hits, but the wild pitch and the walk were the difference in the game.
That's tough,
here.
Dude.
Volpe continuing his hot hitting with a single, hitting 373. And then you also had Gleyber with a single, Verdugo with a single, all singles actually. And then as well, the Cabrera with a single as well. Nothing yet from Austin Wells, hitting only 103, but Trevino has looked like a deer in headlights at the plate as well. I do think that both of those guys are going to definitely, especially Wells. I think Wells can be a strong offensive producer. Trevino will never be a strong offensive producer, but I mean, I think better than whatever he is. It might be like, 2 for 20 or what to start the season. So you would think you'll see some better, production there. And then really, in terms of the rest of the game, the bullpen has been strong all year. Marinaccio, good to have him back from AAA. 2 innings, scoreless, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, throwing 23 pitches. And then former Met great Denny Santana pitching the 8th in the scoreless inning there.
How about that?
I think he's done a pretty good job this year as well, 3.68. And it seems like he has the stuff. I think it's just about overall consistency. So while it is disappointing, this is the first time, in this early part of the season here where the Yankees have lost 2 games in a row. But it's just back to it tonight. I mean, that's all you could do. And one other side note from this game, besides that, I have to say, it's my bad on this. Chris Bassett, I guess, historically has some good splits against the Yankees, and he was pitched very well in this one.
Very well.
6 1/3, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and threw, 97 pitches. But it really hurt to see Chad Green pitch the 8th. And pitch well. And it's like so annoying. And it's not just specific to the Yankees, so I'm not going to harp on this for this. But the only reason that he's not still in our organization is because the last year of his contract was he had to get Tommy John, and they didn't want to pay for a year rehab. Teams do it all the time. But what happened was, so they signed him, last offseason. He pitched a couple games at the end of the season. They saw he was healthy, and that triggered a clause when they originally signed him to activate a 2-year, $21 million deal. And his stuff looked lively. And I know certain spots, he had a Tony kerfuffle at times, but from the Mets, what was he in? Oh no, was it a 3-inning save against the Mets during the COVID season?
Yes,
7-inning
it was.
doubleheader.
Yep.
And Tony always respected him for that. I mean,
always did. Actually.
Overall, did you have a positive experience with him? Like I said, I know he blew it a couple of times. I always really liked him. I thought his stuff was very good.
No, I never had an issue with him. I always was high on him. Like, I thought, it is tough the way he left, but when you look at it from a front office standpoint, are they really wrong? You're getting Tommy John in your last year of your contract. You're supposed to get re-signed. You're obviously going to ask for a lot because how you pitched before that was pretty well. And the Yankees are sitting there like, are we going to gamble on someone who just got Tommy John? That's a tough gamble. I don't know how else you really go about that. So,
well, what? So 3.17 ERA in 7 seasons with the Yankees, and it looks like he struck out 94 batters and 383 in the 3rd innings.
Correct.
Pretty good stuff.
I would say that's great. Yeah.
And remember that run, Dom? Like I hate openers, but he was so good at pitching 2 innings and striking out 6.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah. So it's tough. It's tough to see him on a division rival. But it just right. I can't think of any examples of guys that are privy to an organization their whole career getting the Tommy John last year. Isn't it almost never that they resign him? Unless it's somebody like, not that this happened, but like Mariano Rivera or something. Like other than that, like teams just are not going to invest in relievers that are having major.
I just still think it's worth it. I think especially now, maybe back then, but now too, knowing that like your velo is supposed to be so high, like that definitely plays into a bigger part now than it probably used to. But who would you blame for that? You don't. Like you getting Tommy John. It's like that's a tough gamble there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Tony? That's just kind of league standard.
Yeah.
Have you seen any kind of examples?
Outliers?
No, I'm saying where they did this, where they let the guy go because he was having surgery. Any like relievers over the years of watching?
Nothing that comes to mind. Again, a reliever that
Dellin for us was one.
Yeah.
Coincidentally went to the Mets.
But obviously it didn't really work out for the Mets. So yeah, I don't think so. Honestly, for a bullpen guy or even like a starting pitcher to be like, he's getting Tommy John, don't really want him. Maybe at the end of Thor's career, Thor's tenure, it was kind of that,
right?
But it was way more than that too. It wasn't just the injury. Clearly, there was more sour grapes all around, dude. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
But I'm not gonna root against him. I just hope that like he doesn't, get big outs against us in big games. That'll suck, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was a tough night last night, but I do feel good about tonight because Kikuchi, last time out, actually he pitched in the home opener at Yankee Stadium, and shut down the Yankees, and he has good splits against them. So I think we're due now. They have footage on him this year of not having success, so I think they'll have a good approach against him. Carlos Rodon is coming off some good starts. What do we got going on over there?
Domac is just an idiot, dude.
No, Tony's
it's something you can't say. Or?
I'll tell you after the show, dude. Off air. That I would talk about.
Okay, gotcha.
Look at Kikuchi stats. I don't know. I would say pretty good so far. No, again, that home opener, 2.3 ERA.
No, he is.
Yeah,
like
for me again, like we talked about him last year, whatever, had some good stretches. Year before that was even worse. It seems like he's trending in a good direction, I suppose, for the 32-year-old from Japan. I don't know, any trepidation at all. 5 1/3, no earned runs, 7 Ks against the Yankees.
Well, I almost feel better because his last 2 starts have been great, and then, like I said, we have footage of him this year against us. So, we should be able to make adjustments.
That's true.
Juan Soto, that's what he's really good at. Okay,
that's good.
So, and then I just feel like Rodon is going to be jacked up at the end of the day. 150.
Oh my God, yeah,
or not
dude.
150, but 287 earned run average up to this point this season. Last time out a week ago, actually,
Miami.
was 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. So has only given up 2 runs or less in each of his 3 starts this year.
There we go.
And the Blue Jays offense, like, I just think hasn't been kicking. So I'm expecting at the very minimum 6 innings, 2 earned out of Rodon tonight.
I think that's reasonable. Yeah. I mean, at the very least.
Definitely.
I want to see some more strikeouts, dude. I want to see some fastball up and in, striking out, dude.
Yeah.
I don't want to see just 6 strikeouts, 4 strikeouts like he's been doing. I want to see 9.
I mean, 6 last time, so I think 8. At least 8. I think 8 would be
Okay,
solid
fine.
number.
So the over/under is 8.5 or 7.5?
Probably
7.5.
7.5.
7.5. All right.
We'll take the over on that. So yeah, that's where I am. But let's just win tonight and then have a chance to win the series tomorrow. But Tony, Mets win. Chapman ejected.
That's right, dude. Adrian Hauser, pretty solid, honestly, dude.
Yeah.
I was actually really impressed with him. Fastball was hitting 95 on the gun, which was solid. And then on top of that, dude, I feel like his changeup was his big strikeout pitch. And it was fooling batters like O'Neal Cruz, who led off for the Pirates last night, 0 for 4 with 3 Ks. That man has struck out 29 times this season already.
Well, that's great because I have him on a couple of faces.
I am sorry,
I'm glad
dude.
you're excited about that, Tony.
I mean, it's interesting. And then obviously,
it's very interesting. God.
I think it's even more interesting that's third in the league, not even first, honestly. So I wonder who's Kyle Schwarber, maybe. I'm gonna look it up.
More
dude.
than likely.
Who's leading the league?
Siri.
I thought you were actually on it, dude. I'm sorry. Who has the most? I don't want pitching team stat. I guess it would be player hitting stat leaders, I guess. Strikeouts, 30. Oh, wow, Nolan Jones on Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that makes sense. Oh, now since last night, O'Neal Cruz out in second. Teoscar Hernandez, Max Muncy tied for 27. And then Joey Gallo.
Good.
That's mad funny.
Good.
But nonetheless,
always complaining.
Let's get back to the Mets
right.
anyway, dude. As I said, Hauser did pretty solid. His final line, 5 1/3. 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 walks, 5 Ks there. 95 pitches over those 5 1/3. Again, like not quite getting to that 6-inning mark. And obviously having a little bit of a blow-up inning. I think it was in the 6th. He didn't make it through the 6th there. Again, it was like you come in for the 6th, couple leadoff walks, couple hits at that point. It just seems like he doesn't have the stamina to go the distance like every other Mets pitcher, it seems, as well in the rotation. But nonetheless, it seems like Perez honestly got in some trouble as well in the 6th inning. The 6th inning was pretty crazy for the Mets. It started off, again, I think with 2 walks and then a single. And then Alvarez gets walked in the 6th to bring a run in with the bases juiced. And after that, a sac fly by McNeil. And then TJ Stewart, who continues to impress and work his way into pitch hit, into DH positions for the lineup. Had a huge 2 RBI double. An RBI double, which tied the game up at 3. And then we fast forward down to the 8th inning. And this is where Chapman came into play. Again, I mean, I don't think any calls were egregiously against him, but obviously a couple of leadoff walks, a hit, and then that was when Bader had an RBI double, which scored McNeil and Stewart, giving the Mets the lead. It's 5-3. All of a sudden, you see Chapman arguing with the umpire about balls and strikes, which again, it's kind of stupid because you just gave up a hit. And it's not like, you walked this batter. But I don't know, man. I mean, I saw it. Like, it didn't really seem like Chapman. He must have said something that was bad because he wasn't he wasn't screaming and flailing and saying much. So whatever he said, he must have said some type of curse word or something. Pick up the ump, gets ejected. He's tight. The catcher was tight.
I do see it though. It's the Stewart at bat, and there were so he got 2 strikes looking on him, but there were also 3 additional pitches that were strikes that they called balls.
Really?
That were near the corner, but they were in the zone.
That was after Stewart was walked. I guess that slider and arguably that fastball there. But again, I mean,
just call it right. And then does that lead to the conversation? I mean, I know like it's just weird, like muscle memory, but it's like does it make sense to just still keep the ump there, but then have the automatic strike zone, and then they just relay the information to him and he calls it? Does that make sense?
I don't know. I mean, we've had this conversation before. I think, again, I don't know how this umpire was calling the entire game necessarily.
Because I just feel like, okay, I understand that's how it's been, but how does it make sense that something is a strike when one umpire's calling the game versus another?
Right. No, yeah, I mean, no, I do agree with that. And again, I mean,
like, are we just hanging on to nostalgia at that point?
Yeah, I mean, we are. And again, look at when Ottavino pitched. I mean, these strikes, these two strikes are resembling, like this one probably would have been, fastball from
the only
Chapman,
thing that would be tough is if we go to the automatic thing, if it's an 16th of an inch out of the zone, it's a ball, and that's gonna just suck. But I mean, is it better than getting other calls wrong that are egregious, like Angel Hernandez?
Well, first of all,
I mean, he's an extreme example. I feel
like the league just needs to cut down on that.
Yeah, I feel like
how are they not getting punished?
Like, I don't really hear umpires getting fired. Like Angel Hernandez should not be calling.
Well, it would be swept under the rug, and usually that's the marginal guys that are getting fired that you haven't heard of.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, but still, I mean, like
the Joe West,
right? But if I'm the MLB, I would want to people to know, hey, this umpire was fucking up. His accuracy was below 75%. We fired him. And then I'd be like, oh, all right, like MLB's doing something about it,
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I mean, again, like having the nuances to the game. I mean, that's just what it is.
But so you wouldn't want it, like, it looks the same, and all it is he just getting a signal sent to him that it tells him if it's a ball or strike. Like, you don't want that. Just because you want the borderline pitches.
I do want the borderline pitches in the framing. Like, that's part of the game. And I feel like it's a huge part of the game. And again, I mean, and then, like you said, there seems to be no middle ground. Like you said, it's going to be either automated or an actual umpire. And either way, you're going to have little things to deal with, like the 16th of an inch off the plate being called a ball, it's going to be that. And then it's going to be our same conversation next season if they do that,
But then it's like, but you think about it though, even with that, and I know it seems so close, ridiculous, and I want that, but it's like, at the end of the day, we're complaining about something, but isn't the whole goal just this is a ball, this is a strike? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's like, at the end of the day, that's the fair thing to do. Is if it's a strike, it's a strike. If it's a ball, it's a ball.
That would be the most fair thing to do. Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey,
it would suck because it's like, but
right. Yeah, but
usually those pitches too, the batters are going to swing with two strikes too.
Right. But I mean, don't you think it's cool that it's like, hey, this umpire, up and in balls, pitches, he normally calls them balls.
But it depends what side you're on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Obviously, if it's the other way, you're like, this sucks. But again, if that umpire is known, it's like he's known to have a bigger strike zone than other umpires, then you pitch to that umpire, it adds another element to the game.
I just think there's a lack of consistency at the end of the day, and it's a resistance to change, but that is the way to go. And also, fellas, I mean, don't you think it's like we're having this debate about this, but I mean, I think it's kind of a foregone conclusion, right? That eventually that is going to happen.
I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of backlash from certain fans,
But I mean, you know what I mean? It doesn't almost you're going to forget about it though, because the guy is still going to be standing behind the plate.
I don't know. I hope it doesn't happen just because like Tony was saying, the framing and just everything about it, manipulating it and stuff. I find that so interesting.
So you would rather have not even oh, you think it's going to happen. You would want it to happen.
Yeah. Because I get at the end of the day, we're getting tight about something being right. And that's not right. True. I know that sounds ridiculous, but
I mean, it's not that you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. It's just I don't know. I just think that part of the game is so interesting.
Yeah,
it is. But then again, it works both ways.
Right.
So why not just get it right? It's like the same thing with replay.
Mm-hmm.
True, but then
I mean, at that point, why not have everything automated then?
Well, I just feel like there's more errors with this. That's what
you think so?
Is. Yeah, I mean, definitely. And and then also too, we wouldn't be standing in center field and saying, "Oh, that was something." If you think about it, that is so funny.
Yeah, it really is.
And before I looked it up, you were positive that they were getting a lot of calls wrong, or not?
Yeah. I feel like Mark was convincing me more though, too, because he was on board. I was like, "Oh wow, it does look like a strike, dude."
Oh man,
So funny. All right. Anyway, rest of the Mets game, 8th inning, right, is the blow up spot. Harrison Bader. Very interesting inning for the Mets because they scored 3 runs with only getting 1 hit. So again, taking advantage of the walks, having good base running. Bader stole a bag. I think he stole 2 bags actually. And then the infield ground ball hit. He jumped on it, was able to slide home, sneak in there to get the lead, by the way. So finally, honestly, some good offensive production from Bader, to be honest. Up until this game, I really wasn't really enjoying, I guess, his level of play. I think last game he had a big 8th inning hit as well, which took the lead, or a game-tying hit. But again, before that, I just feel like he wasn't that impactful of a player.
Mm-hmm.
Like this inning was huge for him, like using his base running because I love that. And again, the 3 stolen bags. Seemed like Mendoza got his players to find a way to win here. Again, I mean, I think that's pretty cool to score 3 runs with only 1 hit. You know, you found a way to score 3 runs and win this game. And then of course, Diaz in the 9th, I believe it's his 2nd save of the season. Where am I? Lost my game here. It should be the 2nd save of the season. But again, like, clean inning, hammering the slider, mixing in some fastball as well. I guess it's 4th save.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. 4th save of the season. 1 inning clean. 1 walk though, obviously, but still no damage done. Tight game. A lot of strikeouts here for the Mets pitchers, and I thought it was a great gutsy win. A lot of late game scoring too. There was no scoring until the 6th. So
was it kind of a shame with the late game heroics, the big win, that there wasn't more than 18 strong there?
Oh,
18,000.
18,000?
Like 18,300 or something. Beautiful day yesterday.
I know,
too.
perfect
kind
day.
Of ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I know it's a Monday, but it's New York and it's 70 degrees for
I
baseball
know.
in April.
Like, I don't understand what people are doing in New York. I mean, New York's fucked. The city is so like just not good. Because I feel like if I'm living in Queens, I'm going to that game Monday night. Why not, dude?
Yeah.
Really cheap, just walk in,
Do you
dude.
think
Come
any
on.
part of it is like just the last couple of years, like people are just so fucking pissed at the Mets. Like even though they've played good in this stretch here, but everybody's just like so mad.
Yeah, no, I think it is, and I mean they have a right to be. Obviously, I mean even this start. I mean again, like winning however many of their last. They got to 500, right? They're 8-8 now after a really tough start. And I mean I think that they were 0-5 or 0-6 at home. Right. So I think that, they've won 4 straight at home now, which is great. And even again, I don't know. I think there's just so much negative media around them still because of the slow start. And I think people haven't realized they've kind of picked it up. I think Lindor has had 7 hits his last 9 games.
Yeah.
Someone had a tough start. He went 2 for 4 last night. Beatty has been 1 for 3, killing it, dude. Still batting over 300. I don't know. I think that people will start to see the electricity starting to kind of ignite a little bit in Queens, and hopefully we get some bodies there because it is kind of ridiculous. And again, like Cohen, like, am I wrong to be like Cohen should be like getting people to the stadium? Like, what's he doing?
And the ticket prices aren't the problem.
The ticket prices aren't the problem, dude. Get people in there for free, dude. I saw this video yesterday of Mark Cuban talking about the first year he bought the Mavericks for however much. Tickets were $8 at the time to go in. Like nobody was there. Attendance was all-time low. And he literally started calling people that had bought tickets before. It's like, first game's on me. Just come to the game.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, attendance starts spiking up. The facility's better.
In the buildings.
They're
exactly money elsewhere. The
dude.
Parking.
Like, I feel like if anyone should know that, Cohen should know that.
Yeah.
Again, like hindsight, I understand it's 2020, but like I could fucking own a team. We could definitely own a team, dude. Like this is ridiculous. We have people in the stands all the time.
Yeah.
Like let's go.
Yeah. So
like, what's the point? Give away tickets for free at that point because they're not even buying them. So like,
because even if you word it like I just said, if you give them away for free, they're still going to spend money. So you're still making money off of it.
It's better than having an empty seat. Yeah, exactly, dude. What the fudge?
But are you ready, Tony, for an abbreviated lightning round of a baseball?
Oh yeah, dude. All right, it is beautiful Tuesday, April 16th here. Brian, you want first game?
Yes. And give me the New York Yankees. We talked about Rodon.
Absolutely.
The over-under with the strikeout prop. But yeah, give me Rodon, 6 innings, 2 earned, 8 strikeouts, and I think offensively, early and often off Kikuchi. Let's get Judge and Soto. Tribute to John Sterling, a little back-to-back, belly-to-belly And I think they will torch Kikuchi for 6 runs over 4 innings and win this game 8-4. So that means the Yankees and the over.
I do love that call there. Yankees in the over for John Sterling. Absolutely love it. My next game, I'm going to go with the Mets again here against the Pirates. Why not? Obviously, Pirates been striking out a ton. We got Quintana here on the mound. Jose, last outing was a 16-4 win against the Braves. Obviously, great win offensively. His line, 5 1/3, 3 earned runs, 5 hits, 2 walks. Obviously, has not gone 6 innings this season like many other Mets starters, but I'll say tonight against a Pirates lineup that's been striking out a shit ton, he goes 6 innings, 6 Ks, only 3 hits, maybe a walk, and I'll give him 2 earned runs. And I say the Mets, with Brett Beatty getting, I believe, going to be his 2nd dinger of the season. They're going to go on to win this game. I'm going to say 5-2. So that'll be Mets, and I'm going to probably say the under there. Yes, 5-2, just on the over-under, on the under there, which is at 7.5. Mets, by the way, -130 here at Citi Field, looking to keep that home win streak alive. Next game for you, Brian.
So Tony goes Mets and the under.
Right.
I am going to go the Royals and the under. The White Sox, a lowly 2-14.
Yikes.
Brady Singer, you talked about his ERA, still under 1, so a good opportunity here. And, of course, last night, Seth Lugo shutting down the White Sox, and I think Singer will do the same here. And I think Salvador Perez is going to hit a first-inning 3-run homer, and that will propel the Royals here to a 6-1 victory. So that means it's the Royals, and it's the under.
Wow, Royals in the under. Great pick there, Brian. My next pick, I guess I'm going to go with the D-backs. I'm going to say Kyle Hendricks, 0-2 in the season, a 12 ERA for the Cubs there. 12 2/3 innings pitched, 26 hits, dude. 5 home runs given up over those 12 innings pitched. Absolute batting practice, I think, for the Diamondbacks here tonight. Over under at a whopping 10.5, dude. The highest I think we've seen so far this season. Between that and I think Tommy Henry over there for the D-backs, also a 5 ERA here. Has some strikeout stuff. I don't know. I could maybe see Diamondbacks just lost last night 3-2 in extras. I don't know. I can maybe see Henry having a good game, but I'd say give me Diamondbacks in the over. I really can't see how this game is not going to be batting practice all day. Chalk up, chalk down. Give me the Diamondbacks winning this game. I'm going to say 8-5. Bang.
You mentioned batting practice. Patrick Corbin starting against the Dodgers tonight. Dodgers lost to the Nationals. I warned you about that last night. So even more so, an opportunity here to win a game against them tonight. And it doesn't even matter who's pitching for the Dodgers. They are going to crush the Nationals here. I'm going to say 12-3, and Freddie Freeman is going to hit not 1, not 2, but 3 home runs tonight.
Wow, dude.
The Dodgers and the over.
Absolutely love that. We talk about attendance, a team that always has great attendance. The Boston Red Sox here at Fenway, game exclusively on NESN Plus here. They're taking on the Cleveland Guardians. Coming off a nasty 6-0 loss on Patriot Day. Pretty tough, but nonetheless, we have Garrett Whitlock with a sub-2 ERA at 1.26, over 14 1/3 innings pitched, 11 hits, 16 Ks, though. Only 1 home run given up. He's going to be versing Tanner Bibby here with a ERA a tick below 6. For Boston here, I guess give me Tyler O'Neill batting .313, 7 home runs with a dinger today. I'm going to say over under 8.5. Red Sox got shut out. Guardians, I don't know, maybe like a 5-2 victory here. Give me the Red Sox and the under to snap the Guardians' 2-game win streak.
And that is your baseball frenzy. So let's get a couple New York wins tonight.
Absolutely.
And let's go to the world of the National Hockey League.
Speed, here he comes. McDavid shoots, top shelf, he scores! Captain with the overtime winner! That's the middle, quick hit, Cameron. It's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping, rink wide! Are you kidding me? Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pasternak, the silver trophy to the Golden Knights!
All right. So the Rangers are the winners of the President's Trophy.
Absolutely, baby.
4-0 last night over the Ottawa Senators. And shout out Matty Boy in the building, riled up from Sedona.
The blue shirts, let's go, he says. What's good, muchachos?
And a franchise record 55th win of the season
Absolutely.
last night. Jack Roslovich getting the scoring going in the first period, his 9th of the year. Kreider's 35th assist.
Great pass from
How
him.
about Foxy setting a career high in goals at 17, a shorty. Also another Kreider assist, 36, and Mika, his 46. Third period, Panarin gets his 49th. You were thinking, oh, maybe he'll have an opportunity for a 50th. And they were mentioning how he had that assist to Laffy, who had his 28th, which was the final goal of the game. And I think it was Joe Micheletti was pointing out that, he did have an opportunity to score there, but he thought the pass was a better scenario. So Panarin finishes with 71 assists, 49 goals, an absolutely outstanding season. And how about Foxy? Mentioned the 17 goals and 56 assists, as well as Lafreniere with 28 goals. I mean, I think going into this year, we would have definitely taken the 28 goals out of Lafreniere. So all in all, a great night for the Rangers. They win their 30th home game, which I believe is another record, Tony, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
So 30-11 at home, President's Trophy. Igor, a shutout. Nice to kind of round out his stats
Fourth of
for
the year.
His fourth shutout. So if you look at the overall record of Igor this year, 36-17. So a 2.58 goals against and a 913 save percentage with the 4 shutouts. So really recovered from a rough stretch earlier this year. And at the end of the day, it's just a lot to like, if you're a Rangers fan. And right now it looks like we're playing Washington, and we'll know by tomorrow what the deal is there. But what were your overall thoughts? The win and as we approach the playoffs this weekend, Tony?
We talked about it. I mean, listen, we know about the Senators. They're obviously a team that's nowhere near, can't even touch the level the Rangers can put out in terms of talent. But we saw these past few games, the Rangers not really showing up the first period, dragging your feet, starting out on your heels, ended up losing games to teams that aren't as good because at the end of the season, you clinch the playoffs, doesn't really matter as much. Do you really want the President's Trophy, the curse, whatever? At the end of the day, the Rangers did what they need to do and get the job done. And I mean, like I said, I mean, they came out, they played hard. Igor, brick wall. Kreider, the good feeds. Panarin, the selfless play. Lafreniere, again, like that, his season has been so good, dude. Over the court, played every game this year, 28 goals, 29 assists for 57 points. Obviously a career high in all those categories. You absolutely love to see that. Because again, that type of he was people were like off him, honestly, dude. People didn't really like him. You specifically, again, you talk about Igor's
Aaron
stats too,
making fun of me for suggesting the trade.
Oh my god, dude, you
he's just like, no.
Absolutely not, dude. And then even to couple that too, I mean, Igor ending the season on the shutout. We talked about it yesterday, getting momentum going into the playoffs. This is exactly the win that you needed, and it was dominant, dude. 34 shots, you outshot them 34-26, killed them in terms of faceoffs, hits, block shots, takeaways. Didn't really make any mistakes, obviously. And again, any mistake that was made, Igor was there to clean it up. And you mentioned his stats to end the year. I mean, it wasn't too long ago where we were watching, the Stadium Series against the Islanders. It was one of his first starts back. He was up 5 goals. You think it's over for him, whatever. It's a wash.
We're making the call.
Oh, my God. So crazy. And then obviously just picked it up, turned it around, got healthy, gained momentum. And I mean, they have all that going to the playoffs. They get the President's Trophy, 114 points in the season. I believe that's also a franchise record. So this team is setting records left and right. And they're the team to beat out of the East and arguably the team to beat in the entire league right now going into the playoffs. Like you said, it should be interesting to see who we do play in the first round. But I think getting this win, getting the points, the trophy, ending the season on a high like this, is exactly what you wanted to do as a Ranger here. And Laviolette's got to be hyped up. You know the players were after that win. And dude, I am pumped for some playoff hockey.
Oh yeah, me too, absolutely. And you're mentioning about seeing who we're playing. So I was looking at the schedule. Washington doesn't play tonight, and I know Joe was alluding to, we could find out today, but isn't it pretty much that it would have to be Detroit, Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia would all have to lose in order to have that clinched for Washington tonight, right?
Yes, I do believe so, because if Detroit loses, obviously, that's their
Capitals don't play till Thursday, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I was just looking at this so we have Penguins playing tonight. Sorry, not tonight. That's tomorrow night. Tonight the Red Wings play. The Caps play.
Oh, they do play tonight.
They do play tonight.
Wait, where's their game? Oh, against the Flyers.
Against the Flyers.
But so if the Capitals win, they're in?
If the Capitals win, they are in. That'd be their last game. They get 2 points. If they win in regulation,
they must have. What's the tiebreaker with points? Head to head?
I think it is. It must be, because it's not point differential. It's obviously not wins. I think it's just head to head.
Okay.
It's got to be.
Okay, so Washington.
Or maybe, no, yeah, it has to be that.
Come on. I mean, Ovechkin, Wilson, they're going to beat the Flyers to get into the playoffs. You know it as well as I do.
They probably are.
We're playing Washington round 1. I think we could cement that.
That'd be kind of crazy if the Flyers win tonight, though.
I just can't see it. Torts is tight. You think Torts definitely tight hand for the late season collapse here?
Yeah, I do. So again,
position all season.
I know, play position all season. Let's see, what were their last 2 games? I think because they beat New Jersey, and then they beat the Rangers.
The Flyers. This is
the Flyers. This is yeah. So I don't know, dude. It's tough. I think the Caps also have won their last 2 games as well. So I don't know.
Haven't they won
teams,
a ton of games, or did they have that long losing streak?
No, well, they had like a 7-game win streak, then a 5-game losing streak, then another like 4-game win streak, and then they were going back and forth and stuff. They were so streaky, ridiculous, which is pretty crazy. And I guess trying to get this picture in hand here, Detroit plays tomorrow, but I guess it doesn't really matter. If the Caps obviously win tonight, that's their last game. They would clinch in.
Yeah.
But if the Flyers win, let's say the Flyers win, the Caps lose, the Flyers, I think the Caps may still be in the second wild card.
But Detroit, if they win,
but then if Detroit wins
against the Canadiens, which they probably will,
they'll, I guess at that point, have it clinched.
Clinched?
I think so.
Right,
because the Penguins are a point behind anyway. So if they win, doesn't matter.
Gotcha.
Which is kind of crazy. So I guess the Caps need to lose and the Red Wings need to win in order for them to be in. But then if the Penguins need the Red Wings and the Caps to lose and the Penguins need to win, then the Penguins can get it.
Gotcha. So
a lot of scenarios here, dude.
I think we have clarity there, Tony.
I think we have some clarity, which is great to have.
You know what else we have? An abbreviated hockey for.
Oh, my goodness gracious here. That's right. Tuesday around the National Hockey League. And I believe it's Tony's time to get the first pick here in this frenzy.
Who cares? The Rangers aren't playing.
It's like, I think the Rangers. I can't take the Rangers. Doesn't really matter, dude. So I say, the Red Wings are playing for it all, dude. Give me the Red Wings on the road. The Canadiens here. Over under will be set at 6.5 here. The Red Wings are leading the regular season series for 2-1. This game means everything to them, and the Red Wings looking to continue a 2-game win streak. Canadiens are going to snap a 3-game losing streak, but who cares? They're eliminated anyway. No one gives a shit. Give me Dylan Larkin, a Hattie Boom Batty, Adam Lyon, a freaking shutout, 3rd of the season. Bang, dude. Red Wings win 5-0. Red Wings and the under, Brian.
And it's such a shame. They could be going to the playoffs. Oh, wait, the Capitals will shut out the Flyers here. Joe Micheletti very high on Charlie Lindgren in net for Washington here. So I think Ovechkin does all the scoring here. 2 goals, 2-0 Capitals. Rangers Capitals, first round, game 1 in the Garden this weekend.
Wow.
So the Capitals in the under.
All right, my next game up here. Gosh, so tough to pick these games when these games don't even freaking matter.
Senators, back-to-back. back. Bruins sleepwalking.
I know, but give me the Hurricanes, dude. Why not? Against the Blue Jackets. We know what it is. Carolina minus 265 here on the road. I don't care if this game doesn't matter. Give me Hurricanes. They're gonna win. I'll say 3-2 maybe. So Hurricanes and the under there. Bang.
All right, and I am gonna go with let's see here. Give me
Senators.
Go down a little bit. Keep going. Give me the
Blackhawks
Canucks over the Flames.
Wow,
Canucks over the Flames.
dude.
They're wild. JT Miller, the Hattie Boom Batty, 5-1 Canucks. I believe the total is probably 6.5. You can check that, Tony. But that should mean that it's the Canucks and it's the under.
6.5. That's correct, buddy. All right,
game,
so there we
final
go,
game.
dude. Next game, final game here. I'm gonna go with the Maple Leafs beating the Panthers. I know the Maple Leafs, arguably maybe not better than the Panthers, but nonetheless, Austin Matthews, 107 points on the season, 69 goals, looking
Your
for that
MVP.
70th goal. Certainly, I think it's the 70th. I think it's the 71st as well. So give me Maple Leafs winning this game. I'll say, oh yeah, dude, Maple Leafs and the over, they win 5-3, dude. Bang!
So I kind of want to do the Senators, but I'm not. Give me the Jets over the Kraken. Their 51st win of the season. Jets 3-0. So Jets in the under. And just like that, that is your hockey frenzy and a bunch of comments here.
14 comments, dude. Oh, all right, here we go. Oh, here we go, dude. Let's go. It's early and often. It's Matthew Gabriel. Gonna be a great postseason, boys. Let the adventure begin. Destiny. He says, Tony, you're firing me up, dude. He goes, come on, let's fucking go. Josh B, the regular season wins, I believe, is the tiebreaker.
But I don't think it is, right? 'Cause
I don't.
They had more wins and they were ahead of them, right?
Yeah, there's no way. The Caps have less wins than the Red Wings.
Yeah, so it must be.
It's got to be the head-to-head matchup. Which is so odd that they do it like that, by the way.
I know.
But nonetheless, Josh B, the continuing doubling down regulation wins, I should say. Regulation wins, but this I don't think so. Or maybe it's.
Oh, but we wouldn't. It doesn't show you regulation wins in there. It just shows losses.
It just shows
in overtime. You know, so it's
well,
like,
they're actually right here. Isn't this regulation wins right here? RW.
And the Capitals do have more than the Red Wings, so I think Josh B's right.
Yeah, maybe he is. Number of regulation wins.
27. Yep.
And the Penguins, who have 32 regulation wins, has 1 point less than the Capitals. So maybe even be even more complicated in terms of the combinations of what could happen, of the outcomes. This keeps getting more ridiculous. Matthew gave it a frenzy. Josh says the double frenzy. And then Matthew, hyped to see Josh reciprocating the Matty G.
And by the way, Tony leading by, and we forgot to do the extra game, so we'll do that tomorrow, but Tony leading 335, 266 versus me 318 and 281. Can't believe we've done that many games, but what
Kinda
a pick
crazy
segment by Tony. We have 2 weeks left here, so let's see what happens.
I mean, you can grab the extra game now if you want.
We'll just do it
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sounds
good.
good.
It just feels right to do it that way. And then really the only other thing I wanted to do here is just Domac predictions, playing tournament tonight. What do we got?
I mean, huge game for the Lakers and Grizzlies, or not Grizzlies, sorry, Pelicans. But there's been a little rumbles that like
Lakers are going to blow it.
Are the Lakers going to blow it so that they don't have to play the Nuggets in the first round? Because the Pelicans are definitely, because this is the first time they're really big attendance since I think Zion's second year, because he's been hurt and they haven't been playing as well. So, I mean, I think they're just going to go out there and win. And I don't know if the Lakers are really going to try to do that, but the rebuttal to that is if they lose this game and now they go play like the winner of the Warriors Kings game. If they lose that game, they're not even
yeah,
playing
so
at all.
I think they try to win. They try to win.
Yeah, so I don't know what they're gonna do.
Try to win and do win or no?
I mean, I think if they try to win, I think they're gonna win just because LeBron, like no one's stopping LeBron. Right. Like no one on the Pelicans stopping LeBron. But it just sucks because then they're gonna win and they're probably gonna lose. And I'd give them 5 in 5 games just because I'll give LeBron 1 game. Because the Nuggets are just head and shoulders better than everyone else. It's just the Thunder just had a better regular season against them. So it's weird how it played out because now, like, you know, you kind of play chess and try and get the 8 seed, but
you don't.
It's
you don't
too
mess,
risky.
Then you're out of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's too risky.
You start doing that, you're out of the playoffs. And then is the Warriors Kings tonight? That's the second game.
Yes.
What you think the Warriors take that one or?
Yeah, because I mean, last year 2 years ago. The Warriors kind of, I feel like, just owned the Kings. Like,
Oh yeah, and then
whenever they play head to head, like whenever it matters most, the Warriors end up rising on top. So yeah, give me the Warriors on there. Just it sucks that the Kings are just in that position. It also sucks too that this is the first time in 10 years or something like that the top 10 teams in the West are 10 games above 500.
Yeah,
which just sucks because like it goes to show just how stacked the West is. Because I mean,
beat the East.
Yeah, if you compare like the Kings' record of
they have 10 more, or the Warriors have 10 more wins than the 10 seed in the East.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's tough, but that's just how it is.
And the Rockets. West, so. I mean, what would the Rockets be? The 8th seed in the 9th seed in the East,
the
but
Rockets
they're out of the playoffs
in
the 11.
Kind of crazy.
Yep. And then still no trepidation on your end about possibly the Heat in round 1 for the Celtics.
No.
Does Tony Smaller rap?
I mean, I have Heat going to the finals.
Spoelstra, Jimmy B.
Tatum blows it.
Good teams.
Tatum will play a factor either way. The
best teams are going to have to play against the other best teams in the playoffs, and they're going to have to beat them. So I don't want to have this little easy run where let's say we play Philly instead of Miami. We play Philly. We don't always beat Philly.
Right.
So we play some easy team. Then the next round we play another easy team. Like I want to play Miami. I want to play Miami. I want to play Milwaukee. Like I want to play these teams. I want to play the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals because I want to show everyone that the Celtics
are the Knicks not going to lose to the Sixers maybe in the first round?
I mean, I don't think so. The way Jalen Brunson's playing right now, he's out of his mind. He's out of his mind. I mean, if Embiid could do it, yeah. But I mean, Jalen Brunson's he's dropping like 40 every other night for like the last month.
I will say, I know all that, and I know I haven't been keyed in, but as long as he plays the entire series, the Sixers, I guarantee, will beat the Knicks if they play in the first round.
The way Tyrese Maxey been playing too, I mean, it is going to be difficult to stop. So, I mean, it's not a bad pick. I don't know. I could see the Knicks making a run.
And a couple on the way out here. Matthew saying the NBA sucks us. And then Josh B says, I think if you're the Lakers, you want to play Denver early rather than later when you're more fresh in the playoffs, which is an interesting point. Because I do think we do kind of make a big deal. Oh, avoid them till this round, avoid them till that round. But it's like,
no, you gotta avoid
either you do it or you don't at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So see what happens, right, folks?
Yeah, that's right, dude.
Very interesting.
Big night of sports tonight, dude.
Big night of sports. Will you be in the movie theater before tonight or no?
Actually, I don't know. I mean, we do have binge buddies tonight at 8 p.m. Do we see a movie beforehand? I don't know, dude.
I'm done with the movies. I don't even want to go, type of thing.
I mean, I could definitely go see a movie because there's some movies that came out this past weekend that I would see. And the last movie we did see was good, so that's good. I guess.
Not great.
I would say it was great. Michael said it was not.
What was better, the movie or Lindor? Overall, not the season. Honestly.
What kind of question is that, dude?
I know you're going to say Lindor.
Sure, yeah, of course,
dude.
The
point I'm trying to make is the movie wasn't that good. That's all I'm saying. I think
fair enough.
I think it was very good, not great.
It was very good, yes. But nonetheless, I watched Fallout last night, so we can talk about that. Manny will be in studio. We have some news to talk about. So
rapid fire.
There's a rapid fire news, dude. I fucking love the rapid fire news.
Would you say it's the binge buddy equivalent of a frenzy?
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And is that an 8 o'clock showing or
8 p.m. start, baby?
All right, let's go. Let's go. But once again, would like to thank everybody for tuning in today and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jane. Costume merch, downtime.tv.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Yankees, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.